with WrestleMania being just a couple of days away, I'm going to tell you some bad things I do not like about WrestleMania 42. And I don't have a lot of things on this list, which now I'm thinking about I probably should have added something that I'm just thinking about now, but I don't really care. I might mention it during one of the things. So, you are free to put down in the comments below things that you think are bad about WrestleMania 42. Anyway, that's all. Let's hop into this video. Starting off with Pat McAfee. Bro, Pat McAfee. Okay, Pat McAfee being involved in should have been the best storyline in the road to WrestleMania. Because there's absolutely no reason why Pat McAfee should be in this storyline. No reason he should have been the mystery caller. Because all the evidence we've had leading up to the reveal that Pat McAfee was the mystery caller completely threw every single one of us off. Randy Orton said wrestling has more than one royal family. Oh, he must be talking about his father, Cowboy Bob Orton. That's only makes sense, right? He was talking about how wrestling has only more than one royalty family. He was standing in front of pictures that looked like him and his father and his grandfather. So I thought it was leading up to like maybe a Cowboy Bob Orton or maybe something else, but no, it had to be TKO getting their grimy little fingers onto the storyline that has 20 years of history. 20 years of history gone down the drain because ticket sales were low and TKO was worrying and needed someone to put in there to drive up ticket sales, which, let me just tell you, even if Pat McAfee drove up some ticket sales, it didn't really work out because they still didn't hit where they probably wanted to hit. They only probably sold a couple thousand more tickets, adding Pat McAfee in here. Even if that, I doubt it was Pat McAfee. I'm just going to say it probably was the Ram Trucks. You know, Ram Trucks taking 25% off of WrestleMania Saturday tickets off of people who bought them from that Friday to the end of last Monday. I'm guessing that's what a lot of the ticket sales were about. But yeah, there should be no reason Pat McAfee should be involved in this feud with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. To my knowledge, Pat McAfee doesn't really got a connection to either guy. Like, why? Also, why does Pat McAfee care so much about saving the business when this guy was standing on the announce table for every single time main event Jey Uso came out, yeeting with the crowd, being out of breath, and Michael Cole said, "Calm down, Pat, calm down." Because Pat was out of breath going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Because how excited he was when Jey came out every single time when he made his entrance. And then, fast forward maybe a year, oh, Pat McAfee hates this business. He wants the old business back. Are you on something, Pat? Are you on something? Because you must have forgot or have very early stages of dementia that you forgot that you were yeeting on the announce table for a couple of years. Hyping up this new era, saying this new era is better, this new era is the best. And hyping up main event Jey Uso. I remember last year, the Netflix premiere, January 2025, Jey Uso came out with Travis Scott. They came down to the ring. Travis Scott was smoking a blunt. Him and Jey started yeeting. Pat McAfee on the announce table was, woo, woo, yeet, 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 going crazy. Jey got into the ringside area. Pat McAfee and Travis Scott were going yeeting like they never yeeted before. So apparently, Pat McAfee has forgotten like the past year and a half of what he's done in the company. And if TKO wanted to put Pat McAfee on WrestleMania so bad, they could have just figured out something else that was maybe a little more better for what Pat McAfee should have been doing instead of stuffing him in a feud that doesn't need it, that clearly didn't need it, right? Clearly did not need it because Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. That's the simplest story you could ever tell. Because they've had 20 years of history. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton had a faction together where they ran. They haven't had a triple threat match at WrestleMania before. Right? I mean, Cody's first ever opponent on WWE TV was Randy Orton. So there is no reason for WWE or TKO to insert this man into the storyline. And we all know why Pat McAfee was inserted into the storyline. Because of ticket sales. And TKO probably thought, I think Pat McAfee could sell. Right? You know, here's the ESPN connection. WrestleMania is going to be on ESPN. And here's the ESPN connection. You know, maybe he could get regular ESPN viewers and people who normally watch the Pat McAfee show to tune in to WrestleMania, the main event, to watch Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, the biggest title they have in the company. I don't know. Maybe that's their whole goal, which I don't think it is, because people who watch ESPN on the regular aren't looking for wrestling content. They aren't. They're looking for real sports. They're looking for football, basketball, baseball news. They're looking for like sports that aren't predetermined, even though I'm like 99% sure some sports are scripted to some extent. Like, you know, the Cowls, you know, NBA. I'm watching you, Adam Silver. I'm watching you. Like David Stern. Like, what's it? You know that play? That Kobe Bryant, you know, he elbowed that Kings player in the face, and somehow that was a foul on the Kings player. Not. No mind. I'm just pointing out facts, but it's fine. But yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you know how I know regular ESPN viewers don't care about wrestling or want wrestling on their channel? Because I literally just saw this morning of this guy complaining that ESPN needs to stop doing these wrestling segments on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. I think it was First Take. Well, I saw it. This guy was literally complaining and saying the obvious fake bruise, and it was Liv Morgan. He was talking about Liv Morgan being on with Stephen A. Smith. And this guy was complaining about the obvious fake bruise. If you watch wrestling and you know WWE, you obviously know that the big bruise on Liv Morgan's forehead is completely real, because she literally got her head smashed into Roxanne Perez's head. Speaking of Roxanne Perez, is she okay? Can we get an update on her? I know we saw that big bump she posted on her IG story if you don't follow her on Instagram. But is she seriously okay? But it's whatever. Yeah, this is the one. This is probably the biggest gripe I have about WrestleMania 42. Probably. This is the worst thing ever. And also, it's kind of the best thing ever, too, because I'm now curious how he's going to interject himself into the Randy Orton Cody Rhodes match. What shenanigans, what problems is he going to cause for Cody? Is anyone going to come out there to help Cody, like Jelly Roll or someone else? You know, maybe a wild card out there. Ted DiBiase Jr. Come on, that's kind of a very, very wild card. I doubt it will happen, though. I doubt it. That don't really make too much sense. But yeah, this is disgusting. Get Pat McAfee off my screen. Next up, we got these guys and many more other talent that are missing the WrestleMania 42 card. First off, let's start off with Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes. He was United States champion for about 100 or so days until Sammy Hogan, the evilest guy I've ever seen on the entire main roster, stole the title away from Carmelo Hayes. And finally got himself a WrestleMania match. And the only reason why Sami Zayn challenged for the title and wanted the title so badly is because if he didn't win this title, he would have gotten a shot at WrestleMania. And Trick Williams wants the title. He wanted to face Sami. So, voila, WrestleMania match. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. Again, I'll keep on saying this. The Sami Zayn Trick Williams match at WrestleMania did not have to be for the United States Championship. It did not. They were already building a story since January of Trick Williams and Sami Zayn despising each other and not liking each other. And that that feud did not have the United States Championship involved until Sami won it off of Carmelo a couple of weeks ago. So it's unbelievable. Why? And now Carmelo doesn't have a WrestleMania spot, and he's been on the main roster since 2024. So are we going to have to wait until next year when WrestleMania is in Saudi Arabia? I think it's ridiculous. But, whatever. I mean, you could technically put Carmelo Hayes on maybe a pre-show, the kickoff show, but I don't think they're going to do it on the pre-show because, for 3 hours, which, by the way, the pre-show, there is not a single wrestling fan, WWE fan, not a single person sits on their butt for 3 hours watching recaps and them talking at a table about who they think are going to win, the big storyline they're building up, and then you can't forget, between the recaps, them talking for about a good 3 hours, the ads in there as well. So, you telling me that WWE cannot fit at least a match or two on the pre-show, the 3-hour-long pre-show? You're telling me they can't? That's a lie right there, come on. And now I'm thinking about it, I know when the last time there was a match on the pre-show. I'm pretty sure it was JD McDonough versus Sami Zayn. Am I correct about that? Was it Sami Zayn and JD McDonough at Crown Jewel 2023? I'm like 75% sure that happened. If it did happen, then wow. Next up, we got Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa helped Roman Reigns retain his championship at Clash in the Castle 2022 against Drew McIntyre after he pulled the referee out, distracted Drew McIntyre, letting Drew McIntyre get speared by Roman Reigns for the 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. Solo officially joined the main roster, officially joined the Bloodline. Oh, yeah. Solo was with the Bloodline for about a year, almost 2 years, close to 2 years. Then he decided to make his own Bloodline, then eventually renaming them to the MFTs. After JC Potato joined and Tala Tonga joined. And somehow, someway, Solo Sikoa missed WrestleMania 39, right? Now, I could let that slide because, Solo was involved in the main event scene. He was still very attached to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, and he wasn't this character we have today. He was that serious character that rarely talked, so I could let that slide. Same thing with WrestleMania 40. I could let that slide because WrestleMania 40 wasn't built for the rest of the Bloodline members. It was only built for really Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, The Rock, and Jimmy and Jey Uso. That's real. And Solo was just the enforcer of the Bloodline time, where he takes out people that Roman Reigns needs to be taken out. Like he took out Cody Rhodes. He Samoan spiked him. He took out John Cena at Crown Jewel 2023. And then John Cena makes his triumphant return at WrestleMania 40. Puts Solo Sikoa through an announce table. Gives Roman Reigns an attitude adjustment. And then The Rock comes out. Oh! Big... what's it called? What's it called? Rock bottom. Right? So I could forgive Solo missing 40 and 39. I can forgive that. But then he missed last year's WrestleMania, when he finally developed a character, when he finally shined and finally showed that he is an entertaining character that is hilariously funny. And even in times when he's not supposed to be funny, his facial reactions, how he walks, gestures, it's hilarious. But last year, he literally came out hyping up Jacob Fatu for his United States Championship match he had with LA Knight. And then we didn't see Solo until next SmackDown. He came on the stage hyping up Jacob Fatu. Yeah, you can do this, man. You can do this. And then just walked back, right? And again, once again, he does not have a match at WrestleMania 41. No, he's 42. It's crazy. It's crazy. And honestly, even though I've preached on this channel multiple times that I think the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six should have been done a half a decade ago, just to get Solo Sikoa on the card, we should have just done Uncle Howdy, Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania for the stupid lantern. Because apparently the lantern is one of the most important things in all of WWE right now. Right? And if you couldn't, and honestly, you could have told me that WWE wasn't stretching out this story, the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six storyline, to WrestleMania. I thought the reason why this feud was going so long is because they were finally going to give Solo a WrestleMania match and drag it out to Mania. But no, they're going to do it the SmackDown before Mania. And I thought the feud was done last week. Holy. Next up is El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano, I have no idea why he isn't at WrestleMania. He's one of the biggest stars in Mexico right now. Now, maybe it's because they want to save El Grande Americano for Mexico, because he is basically the equivalent to Stone Cold Steve Austin down there. Or like a John Cena AAA. I don't really know. I think he should have El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano WrestleMania 42. I think that would happen, but I guess it won't happen. I guess it will happen in AAA though, which is probably better for it, because I believe that it probably will fit that down there better than it'll do on the main roster, and definitely will give better crowd reaction in Mexico. So maybe it's a good thing they're not doing it at WrestleMania. But yeah, I think it's just ridiculous. Next up, Io Sky. Why is Io Sky not facing someone? I don't care. It wouldn't have mattered to me what Io Sky was doing at WrestleMania. She's missing her first WrestleMania since she came to the main roster. She was at WrestleMania 39, I think. She was at WrestleMania 39. She defended her championship at WrestleMania 40, defended her championship at WrestleMania 41, and then a year later, she's nowhere to see and is not having a match at WrestleMania 42. Same thing with Tiffany Stratton. Why is she doesn't have a match at WrestleMania 42? Is it because she said that in 5 years she wants to be in Hollywood? Maybe. Who knows? But I don't think that's a good reason still, right? Tiffany Stratton is one of your biggest stars that you got. Io Sky is, again, one of the biggest stars that you got, too. She's one of the... I'm going to say she's the best female in-ring competitor that WWE has right now. So why isn't she able to show off her talents on a WrestleMania? Like, I get it, maybe if they were setting up for Io Sky versus Asuka on the WrestleMania card, and it wasn't good enough to make it a WrestleMania card, which I believe it would have been, because, we could have finally paid off the story where Kairi Sane is finally freed from the grasp of Asuka, and finally punches Asuka in her face-painted face. But no. Right now. Maybe this wasn't good for the main card of WrestleMania. But hey, there's a 3-hour kickoff show where you could have a match or two. But no. That's too many matches. You can't have a kickoff match. You can't have a match on the pre-show. It's illegal or something in WWE right now. Like, come on. In Io Sky, it should be Io Sky versus Asuka at WrestleMania. And if the reason they're not having Io Sky versus Asuka at WrestleMania is because of Nikki Bella's injury, though I don't think we even know what it is. But if the Kabuki Warriors replace the Bellas at WrestleMania, then okay, I'll give it a pass. Even though I think before Nikki Bella's injury, they should have just confirmed the Io Sky Asuka match, which is stupid. Which I have a feeling they had no plans of doing anyway. Now I'm thinking about it. But, it's just kind of saddening. It's kind of sad to see. Next up is Finn Balor. Now, don't get me wrong. I am very happy and I'm excited to see Finn Balor get his WrestleMania match, right? He didn't have a match at WrestleMania 40. He did actually have a match at WrestleMania 40 in that ladder match, tag team ladder match. My bad, I forgot about that one. But he had a match at WrestleMania 41, right? And now we finally get the Dominic turn, or the Finn Balor face turn, or he's finally facing Dominic at WrestleMania. But instead of the regular vanilla old Finn Balor, like you see in the picture right here, we're getting the Demon. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the Demon. The Demon's cool. But, to me, the WWE making Finn Balor use the Demon character for a match against Dominic Mysterio, which tells me that Finn Balor, all plain vanilla Finn Balor, cannot beat Dominic Mysterio without being the Demon. So, the regular old vanilla plain Finn Balor cannot defeat Dominic Mysterio without being the Demon? That makes literally no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. That is the most delusional thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Even Roman Reigns didn't beat Demon Finn Balor clean. Let's be honest. Roman Reigns, I don't really know. How did Finn Balor, or how did the Demon lose, right? We all know how he lost. The ropes collapsed. What's the reasoning behind that? Was it because God decided, you know what? I don't want my Demon to win. I want Roman Reigns to win. Like, what's the reason? Did we ever get, like, a true explanation to what happened to the ropes? Do we get a true explanation about that? I don't think so. But I think the Demon is probably not going to help either, because if we look at Finn Balor's WrestleMania matches as the Demon, or just matches as the Demon himself, he has lost a lot of matches as the Demon. Like, he lost to Edge at WrestleMania 39 as the Demon. And, again, you all blame that on Vincent Kennedy McMahon, which all of you seem to want back, even though he's wanted the Demon to lose to a guy who was going to leave the company in about like 6 months anyway. But, yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But yeah, it's kind of disgusting that they think Finn Balor, regular old plain Finn Balor, can't beat Dominic Mysterio without being the Demon. Now, I get if Finn was facing like a Brock Lesnar, an Obafemi, or a bigger star, right, than Dominic Mysterio. But are we being serious? Finn Balor needs the Demon to at least have a chance to beat Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. Are we serious right now? And again, I've heard this argument a million times. Please, just don't say it's for ticket sales. Ticket sales? Who wants to see the Demon in 2026? Who wants to see Finn Balor in 2026? Because let's be honest, WWE has treated Finn Balor like a complete joke for the last couple of years. Like, Finn Balor's nickname is Pin Balor because all he does is eat pins. That's his nickname, Pin Balor. It's disgusting. And I wish they didn't have to even use the Demon for this match. Because, the Demon doesn't really need this match. He doesn't need to win this match. Finn Balor, regular Finn Balor, no face paint, needs this match, needs this win way more than Demon Finn Balor. And I will continue to say it from the top of my lungs for the rest of my lifetime. Because it's just the truth. You can disagree with me all you want, but it's true. Regular Finn Balor needs this win more. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And JD McDonough won't even be there to help because he is off focusing on his IC ladder match later, or whenever, I think it was earlier, maybe it's probably earlier in the night. But who cares? He's going to be too injured to help anyway. So Finn Balor doesn't even have to worry about the Judgment Day getting involved unless it's like Raquel Rodriguez, which I don't understand why she would get involved. But, yeah, I think it's kind of crazy. But anyway, those are most of the bad things I do not like about WrestleMania 42. Again, you feel free to leave in the comments below if you agree with any of my things I've said, or yeah, I don't really know. Anyway, have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye.